I waited because I had a feeling. Okay. I waited to do both these recaps together because I've watched so many reality shows to know this was not going to last. Okay. If you are new here, I am Denise Brady. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist who's obsessed with reality TV and pop culture. Okay. Now, I've been watching these dating shows for a long time. Blind Dates, back in the day, Flavor of Love, all of it to know this was not going to last. Not only that, my psychological background also told me it ain't gonna last. Let me be patient and wait until the next episode to discuss it because it wasn't gonna last. Now, this show to me has become watered down. Okay. Between producers manipulating the game, between people coming on the show and are hyper aware of the cameras, we are not getting the same Love Island that we have gone previous seasons ago. So with this situation, one side of it is like the friend zone. It's too much of a friend zone. The other side is like, for me, with Nick, I think he does like her, but because he has established a relationship with Sierra, it was never gonna work. It's like the forbidden fruit kind of. Let me just taste it. Let me see what it's like. Something could have been there, but I already got this thing going with Sierra. And Miss O is just so enamored by Taylor. I don't even know if at this point, y'all, somebody can come along and pull her. Over and over again, I feel like Taylor has shown that he ain't that into you, sis. He is not that into you. He cried over Nick leaving. When Nick came back, he jumped over your ass to go give him a hug and welcome him back. You sitting there, right? He see you sitting there. But because you are so into Taylor, I just don't know what it is. How is it that all out of all the men on this show, it came down to Taylor having to be chose between two women? Did y'all see that coming? But the dynamics here are that you have someone who I think doesn't belong on this show. Olandria does not belong on this show. Her emotional intelligence, I think is at her emotional IQ is a lot higher to me than some of these people. And I think she would be better suited on maybe a Love is Blind. Um, Shit, maybe a Married at First Sight. I say that a little hesitantly, but something that's just evolved more into deeper connections. That slow burn can kind of like, work its way through, but not here. Okay. So when production was like, oh, we got something for y'all, we see the internet and we want it too. We want to see it too. So let's put these two together. Let's manipulate the game to make it so we can see if it would it work, y'all. Would it work? No, no, it's not. But we got to see a glimpse of the potential. Like when they were kissing in Soul Ties, part of me was like, y'all a little buzzed. Because almost like the day after it wore off, I'm like, was y'all drinking? Because it gave y'all was drinking. Blame it on the alcohol. Okay. But Taylor is just not for you, girl. And to also see her be given a second chance with Nick and both of them decide no, dog. Like we just friends. I got really surprised. Y'all tell me y'all not surprised at that. Okay. It wasn't going because the whole time I was watching, I'm like, okay, what about Sierra? And she is a girl's girl. She is not going to do that to Sierra. She really wasn't going to do that, y'all. And Nick said himself, him being kicked off was an opportunity for him to reflect upon I want to be with Sierra. Okay. So this little, love scene was not going to work. But I want her to get past and see that Taylor is just not, he's not for you. You know, sometimes we have to like get away from the romanticized idealism that we have in our heads, the magical thinking, and see what is before our eyes. Believe people the first time they show you who they are. And Taylor is not a bad person. He's just not your person, girl. He really isn't. Okay. So let's move on over to Casa Snorefest. Okay. Because Casa Amor was a bust. She looked great. Her body, like she looked good. She looked good, y'all. Now I know the dress was hard to walk in, but she looked good. Okay, so we're getting over here. What really did we get anything from Casa? Did we get anything? Let's talk about this right here. This man is one of those red pill guys. It seemed like he was into her. He was into what she could provide him physically, not mentally. No, Huda to me has calmed down, gathered herself, maybe done some self-reflecting. Maybe it was just the need to have Jeremiah be out of the villa for her to recognize, okay, it's time for me to kind of do some things, see some people. But this guy saying that she was too dominating, he likes somebody more submissive. And she's like, oh, you ain't gotta tell me twice, cuz I can see myself out of here. Let me walk on down these steps. What is it about men who do not like a woman who knows who she is, can take control sexually, and be comfortable with it? Why does that emasculate you? For her to be comfortable in her sexuality, to want to have control, to know what she wants physically in the bedroom. Why is that emasculating? Because that's what it felt like. He wasn't up to par for her. I was just like, what? Shoot yourself in the foot now. But at least she saw it, so it's not wasting her time. But it's something about men that don't like a woman who's independent, strong, knows who she is, knows what she wants. It was good when everybody was, looking at y'all in that challenge when she was licking you up and down, literally. But no, I'm not into it. And you could tell she was turned off. I think Huda reminds me of a woman who, is very strong-willed, very confident, but can also appreciate a man who will probably have his own confidence and not put her in her place. I don't want to say it like that, but y'all know what I mean. When you have a strong personality, sometimes hearing that man be like, calm it down now, girl. Checking you a little bit, but not in a like domineering, I'm the man, you stay in your place kind of way. In a, oh damn, he kind of checked me. I kind of like him checking me a little bit. Do that again. Tell me what to do again. Especially when you are used to having to always be strong, when you're used to always having to have your superwoman cape on. Sometimes having a man be like, sit down for a second, can be kind of attractive. But him, her independence, her being fierce was only attractive for so long. Probably realizing he probably cannot exert control over her. And so she said, oh, don't tell me twice. I can see my way out of here. This was never going to work. He was just a placemat for Nick. They look very similar, but it was never going to work. You got to think, we are more than what, halfway in now. Nick is her person right now in this villa. The way he looks physically, I just need something kind of like, entertain me for a little bit until my man get back. Okay? Until my man get back. But then we have, Olandria, Nic coming in, and the conversation between Clark and Olandria. Olandria at this point is still seeing Clark as just a test on her connection with Taylor. That Taylor is just testing the waters to see what else is out there. I want to say she's Delulu, and it's sad to see because I want her to explore other people. Right now, I don't even think there's anyone in the villa for her. But there's something about this man that she still continues to kind of, this is who I want. Some of y'all say because it represents life she wants on the farm with the kids, with the cowboy. But the thing is, he was able to not have to break a wall here. There was no wall between him and Clark. Clark was open into him from the start, and they have a genuine connection. So I think on a show where your relationship has to move very quickly, it wouldn't work for somebody who has a fearful avoidant attachment style. You have to come in. You can come in with a wall, but you have to recognize I have to drop it very quickly in order to stay on this show. Now, I don't think it's a I have to lower my standards type of deal for her. I think it's more of I have to recognize I have to move a bit quicker. This is a very fast-paced show. And Clark is like, I ain't no test girl. I'm the real thing. I'm the real thing. What you mean a test? You sure you watch the same show as me? A test now, girl. So then everybody comes back. And let's talk about this recoupling and how they tried to trick everybody to think that Nic was gone. Okay? And now I feel like they went off script. When Nic came in and Olandria came in, them girls was not supposed to get up. I'm sure. I'm sure they were supposed to sit there, be surprised, contain yourself, please, for this scene. For the next couple of hours as we were filming this, y'all was not supposed to get up. So when they got up and they ran, and Sierra said, fuck this, there's my man. I'm going to let him know I'm choosing him tonight. It blew up the whole thing. And it shows you just as much as production has control, at times they really don't. Because the whole recoupling showed they can't really control a lot of these girls. And some of the men with their comments, ace. So we get to the recoupling, we find out, who coupled up with who in the beginning, that Landria came back, what was happening in the villa, what was happening in Casa Amor, blah, 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 blah. Now, for the most part, were we surprised? Not so much. Everybody chose who we thought they were going to choose. Not surprising. Not surprising. She blew a cat out the bag as soon as he walked in. But now I'm wondering, how is she going to feel once she finds out that he was kissing her friend? That is the big question for me. Are we just going to let it go because she got her man and Olandria gets to stay? Will it change the dynamics? The way the show is moving right now, I feel like they're just going to be like, whatever. Nobody cares. Okay? Nobody cares. This one right here, Hey, big dog. I can see this. She needs a man that is confident in himself. She's confident, but can also lay down the law at times. So I'm glad they talked. And she looked like she can climb a tree. Okay, because online, girl, they saying you a scripper. You a squipper, so you know what to do. You know what to do. But I'm enjoying seeing a calmer side of her. Her also acknowledging when old boy was talking to her sideways about her being too dominant, she said herself, like, it took everything in me to not go off. And she could have. Now that would have been a good scene, but it also shows she's calming down. I wonder if there's like some counseling or somebody on the side giving her a little bit of a chat here and there. 'Cause it's just been a 360. Okay. Not surprising. Not surprising. This one here. Are y'all surprised? This kind of like the same outfit that old boy was wearing during his season. What's the Serena boyfriend name? It's just white now instead of green. She was trying to throw the alley oop at the last minute with the kiss on the photo and the drawer. It just wasn't enough. And she looked so good. Yeah, she looked so good. But at the end of the day, you were feeling him more than he was feeling you. And then the production's like another twist. It's up to y'all tonight to say who stays and who goes. And my mind went to, of course, the girls are going to choose Olandria to stay. So when they said Villa go on this side, Casa Amor go on this side, people from the Villa are going to choose, I believe, the guy, and people from Casa will choose the girl to stay. I already knew it was still going to be Olandria. But it was interesting because they were like, Nick said, well, Taylor could change his mind. Wait, what the fuck? What? He could change his mind, so we should keep her around. My girl should not be staying here as second best as a fallback plan for somebody. She is worthy of more than that. So it also shows Nick's mind is it thinks very small. And once again, their emotional intelligence, O and Nick's, is not the same, and it would never last long. There's a lot of lust there. There's a lot of physical connection, but mentally, I'm just not. I'm not sure. And I also can't remember with the age gap between them, but that also plays a role. Okay. So when they were voting and they asked Clark, well, who do you vote for? Who do y'all really think I'm about to sit here and vote for that girl? Y'all think my man is really gonna be into me and building a connection with me with them eyes looking at him all the time? Y'all think I want her here? Come back to me. But she kept it together. I said that she did, okay? She said, come back to me. I forgot, what did Ace say? I forgot what Ace said, but he had his little ad libs throughout the whole episode. But do you guys think that he will really give this relationship with Clark a chance with O still there? And will O finally see that Taylor is not really feeling you? Let it go. And maybe some bombshells will come through. Because right now, I don't think who could she kind of couple up with? Y'all think the what's his name? Is it Elon? Elon? Is that like a potential suitor for her? But yeah, and then Ace and Shelly, not surprising. I was not surprised about Ace and Shelly. Not surprised about this too much. He didn't want that plastic. Okay. Um, but Ace to me, my deep dive of Ace, I'm gonna do that this weekend, y'all. So y'all gonna get it probably on Sunday, all right? So I already did. I just have to edit a little bit. But Ace is playing the game. Did I ever think he was gonna choose Coco? No. He knows what to say to America, what to say on camera to make y'all think one thing, but he has another thing in his mind. He's playing chess while a lot of these players are playing checkers in Connect Four. We're gonna put it at Connect Four, not even checkers, okay? So he was always gonna choose Shelly. I thought they had a picture of Shelly up here, him and Shelly together, but oh, here it is. He was always gonna choose her. It was always gonna be Shelly. This whole outfit with the hair, it's really giving Serena right now. The bohos. I feel like Serena, didn't she have a dress similar with the flower in her hair? Was that when she went off that night? Is she on that blue? I think that's when she went off. Okay. But Ace is playing a good game. Okay. He is playing a good game. Now, America kind of hates him at this point. But let's talk about who our final couples are probably going to be at this point. We got Ace and Shelly. Oh, I ain't talking about Amaya Papaya. Now, once Taylor chose Clark, Amaya had a lot to say. She was saying what everybody else was feeling on TV, watching it. And it was an example of, to me, of production not really having control over these women tonight. I just really don't think that, at times production has as much control as they think they do. And with these recoupling ceremonies, I've seen a lot more emotion, feedback, frustration from the women, more than I feel like I've seen in past seasons. They have a lot of more opinions and they're gonna say it out loud, not just whisper it. Do I think that they can last a long time though? I don't know. This one I'm not quite sure. He seems very calm. She can be, but she has to learn how to emotionally regulate. And I wonder how long will that last with him? Her not being the most emotionally regulated person. And another theme I have seen throughout this season with these castings is that a lot of these people are parentified adults. They come from backgrounds of single parents, single mothers, and families of like four plus siblings. So I think that plays a role also in the emotional intelligence of these people, how they're playing the game, and the maturity levels. What's with Pepe posture? Why he look dead inside? Maybe he just really tired because who knows what time this shit is like filmed at. But he just like, can I go to bed now? I also noticed that Pepe is not getting a lot of confessional time. Did y'all pick up on that? There's like the main couple people like Amaya, Ace, Austin, even Jaden, but I'm not seeing some of these other, people getting camera time, but he looked like he just like, can I go to bed now? I'm tired. But as I was saying, so the couples I think are gonna make it to the end or close to the end are gonna be Shelly and Ace, Nick and Sierra. I'd be very surprised if they don't. Austin and Jaden. Adrena and her dude, even though he don't really talk, y'all notice he really don't talk that much. Am I missing anybody? Those are like the main probably 3 to 4. I think that Adrena and that guy will probably get kicked off because right now I don't think America really has a connection to them as a couple. Another thing that plays a huge role in the social thing is that the love America has for you as a person and as a couple, the parasocial relationships that viewers and the audience get from this show. And so when you think about that, who does America have the most relationships with? Who do they like the most? It is, typically a popularity contest, but Casa Amor was whack. They could have saved it. Okay, saved it for I don't know, we needed better bombshells, a better game, activities. It gave nothing. If it wasn't for these moments of production coming in with the Hail Mary at the end, it would have been completely trash. The recoupling, a lot of them weren't surprising. Most people went back to their partners that they split up with to go to Casa or stay in the villa. And so does it show, is it starting to lose people? Or do you think that production can continue to come in and play these manipulative games to keep us on the edge of our seats or keep watching until the end of the season? But this one is not giving last season. It really isn't, y'all. Okay. But what do you think about these 2 episodes? Stay tuned for my deep dive on Ace coming up this weekend. What do y'all think thus far? We are almost to the end. Make sure you hit that like, you subscribe, and girl, I will see you next time. All right. Bye.